Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Thursday, October 23rd, 2008. This morning I'd like to continue with the little feed writer example that we started yesterday. And to do that, we need to create a new package. So let's create a new package called Pearls. And what we'll do in this new package is create a new class. And our new class will be called Pearl Writer. We'll leave it descended from object. We'll give it an RSS writer instance variable because we need to have access to the actual SAX driver. We need one other thing under advanced, which is not something that is immediately obvious. We want to import the namespace that the SAX driver stuff is in. Now we don't positively need to do this. I could preface every time I reference that class name with a dot, but I'd prefer not to do that, so I'll do this and hit OK. Now we get that written for us. What we need to do is go into initialize, and we don't want RSS writer to be pointing at nil. We want this to be pointing at RSS 20 underscore SAX writer new. And that'll do that. Now I need to actually be able to write the feed though, so let's write the feed. Now that method's not going to exist yet, so let's go ahead and create that. Let's create new writing, and we'll create write feed. Now at this point, what we need to do in this method is go through and actually open the file for writing and create the XML feed itself. So we're going to do that by first creating an output file. Out is a temporary variable to this method, pearls.xml as file name, write stream, and that'll create that. Now at the bottom we're going to do this, and everything else is going to happen in between there. Now, in reality, I probably ought to be doing error checking on file creation and file closing, and I really ought to be doing this in a test-first fashion. But we'll leave that aside and just go through the little example. So what we'll do is we'll do some stuff like this. Self create RSS on that file, and that'll do the initial setup for us. And then all we really need to do is use the API methods of our writer. So let's do self RSS writer start channel and self RSS writer write channel stuff. So that'll be a method that encapsulates all the stuff we need to write to the channel. Then self RSS writer start item, and then a method to, let's get rid of this, that's going to be directly in this code, write item stuff. Then we just need to reverse this. We need to back our way out. So since we've created the RSS, the channel, and the item, we now just need to back out in reverse order. So self RSS writer end item, self RSS writer end channel, and self RSS writer end RSS. And other than the methods we didn't create, and that you see I got a spelling mistake there, so let's put an L on the end of that. So other than the methods that don't exist in the temporary declarations, that should be fine. So all we really need to do is create this method, and this method. Let's start with create RSS on. Create RSS on the file, and here all we need to do is actually take that file I've opened and hand it to the RSS driver. So let's say self RSS writer, and we have to hand it its output, which is the place it needs to write to, and we'll hand it the file. And then self start RSS. And that's it for that method. So that'll create the output on the SAX driver and start the RSS stream. Now we can go back to our main method and see that we now have to do write channel stuff and write item stuff. Let's do the channel stuff because that's a fairly simple one. So write channel. So self RSS writer, the title, and we'll call that pearls before swine. And then we just need to add the other stuff, the link description and the pub date. So RSS writer link, and I'm just going to take the link from the web page, paste that in, and then The description will just be, again, same as the title, pearls before swine. And finally, we'll put a pub date on it so that I can tell when I last wrote this file. And that'll be timestamp now. And that's pretty much it for the channel. So all I need to do now is actually write the item stuff, and then we can test this out. But that'll pretty much wrap it for today. We'll get to the item tomorrow. So until then, have fun with Smalltalk.